Show of hands here on our YouTube channel. How many, or in radio too, how many have TVs over the fireplaces? Yes, yes, I'm raising my hand. Lee doesn't raise her hand. Well, Billy writes in, he just bought one of those new 78-inch flat screen TVs on sale on Black Friday, and he'd like to hang it over the fireplace in the family room. But Billy is saying that his wife is afraid the heat from the fireplace will mess with it. Is it really a bad idea to mount a TV over a fireplace? I did some research, and here's what you need to know. And Greg, let's talk about you. Have you had any problem with your TV over your
funny. It's funny you say that, Bob.
Yes.
I burned one. I burned one over the fireplace. You know, we built a home. And as I always, I'm a typical guy that doesn't like the design details. My wife loves that stuff. And a lot of times I have an argument over aesthetic versus practicality, right? And so we finished our fireplace in our living room for aesthetic. And we burned a TV because of that, and it wasn't practical. It looked gorgeous, but we did not have the proper mantle spacing and disbursement of heat. And so now I have a TV up there, and we don't use the fireplace, and we are modifying we are building out and now modifying as we speak our mantle to accommodate so we don't do it again. There are ways to properly do it, but let's hear what
so that is perfect information, and I wasn't aware of that problem. So we were just over at your house a week or so ago.
Well, it happened a while ago, and we got a new TV. It was that was good. This was like over a year ago, but the heat definitely fried one of those nice fancy TVs. It was not fun.
Well, you found out the hard way. Depending on the type of fireplace you have, it could be a mistake to hang your new flat screen TV there for the reasons that go beyond heat. It's not advisable to mount the TV because, as you have already found out, Greg, excess heat and electronics just don't mix. Above the fireplace is often warmer than the wall surfaces in your home, and a gas fireplace can generate 20,000 to 35,000 BTUs of heat per hour. To put that into perspective, it takes approximately 15,000 BTUs per hour to heat an entire 1,400 square foot house during a typical New England winter. So heat rises, and what was happening, at least with yours, Greg, was that there was no mantle to deflect the heat. Now, even if you have a mantle, you still run the risk of the heat coming over the top of the mantle, maybe a wind, a gust from downblast from a fan.
Fans into the mantle the way I'm boxing it in to help push the heat out into the room.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
All right.
They got to be turned on first place. That's
the only good thing that you should do is get an electric fireplace that will ensure the fact that you will not have a burnt TV. But this is a really big warning to all of our listeners, and Greg already knows this.
But what's funny, and in most cases, it is very dependent on the brand, what's inside, what materials are on the outside. I have an old Vizio TV I bought for like $250, 55-inch years ago, like 10 plus years ago. It's one of those tanks. It's it could be better picture quality, but it's good. And I put that outside instead of buying one of those fancy outdoor TVs.
Right.
It still works. I put a little cover over it. And it's above another fireplace, manteless fireplace that we're going to put up, but we never. It's literally sitting underneath, and it has warped. The plastic underneath has warped, but the TV still works.
Okay. So, by the way, I was one of those who spent a lot of money on an outdoor TV.
Yeah.
So it's still working, but I also had another area outside where I want to put a TV. So I took a cheapy TV and put it out there. It still works too. Just cover it. So you don't need to spend the extra money. Okay. Randy, go ahead, Lee.
The reason I didn't raise my hand is because my husband has a theory that your TV should be at eye level and not above the fireplace.
I agree. I agree with that as well. The strain. There's a lot of talk about that, like Samsung frame TVs, the way they've got to be mounted. A lot of people like to mount them above fireplaces, but they are actually not good for viewing angle above, and you can't tilt them because they're framed, so you can't even get that viewing angle. So
no, you're right. We should do a whole show on mounting TV.
I'm a former Best Buy general manager. I could go.
You could go into it,
and on and on.